But I think we have to start with Manchester United and Aston Villa. And to help us dissect it, Jules, look who's here.
Here he is.
Villa fan extraordinaire.
The legend.
Luis Miguel Echegaray. All right, 2-0 down at halftime. And I'm thinking, man, whatever buzz they got from Sergio, from the announcement of the Jim Ratcliffe deal, which, by the way, isn't done, but needs to be completed. Man, it's all gone. There's boos ringing out.
Yeah.
I thought they were poor in the first half. What did Ten Hag change at halftime? Did he change anything, or did the team just start playing better?
So already at the end of the first half, United were playing better. And Villa scored 2 goals on set pieces, 2 really good goals. But then already I felt towards the last 10 minutes of the first half, there's a couple of offsides. There's the Bruno Fernandes kind of chance. So it felt already that United were better in the game towards the end of the first half. However, the second half, they just took the game away from Villa, who were disappointed, who just almost stopped playing and took it for granted, I think. And I think for me, Garnacho just took the game onto him and made a big difference.
Yeah, the warning signs were there when Garnacho's goal was disallowed. And like Jules said, I think what happened at halftime was Erik ten Hag said, listen, we have to now be more aggressive, because actually in the first half they were dropping off. And this is uncharacteristic of Unai Emery. He did not adapt. The high line stayed. United kept pressing. Garnacho became more aggressive. It wasn't just him. And sooner rather than later, that was just going to happen. Villa caught United offside 7 times in the first half. But that just was not going to continue with the new plan from Ten Hag. And Unai Emery just couldn't adapt, which, again, as I said, was uncharacteristic.
Yeah, Unai Emery seemed grumpy after the game. I don't know. The kind of Italian in me says, if you let a 2-0 lead at halftime slip, especially against a team that, at that point, I'm right in saying United had lost more games than they'd won in all competitions all season, or it's neck and neck anyway. There's no real excuse for that. And it's strange for a guy who's done so well in knockout competitions, especially, where you are playing on that. Did Unai Emery just ultimately think that, hey, look, did he believe the hype about United, say they really are that rubbish? And the players, and you know what? Oh, I was about to say that person's name. The people who put these stories out about all the players having zero faith in Ten Hag were correct. They're not going to come out to play in the second half.
I mean, Villa never dropped points from winning positions in the league this season anyway. So I think usually when they lead...
So that's why it's so uncharacteristic.
Yeah, completely. But maybe they were surprised by this, especially the first 15 minutes of that second half. By the way, United re-attacked the second half in a way, although we saw that kind of coming. And I agree with LME. I just think that Unai was too passive, really, on the touchline as the second half happened. And I think he should have changed something. Although Villa had a big chance at 2-1 up to go 3-1 up, then at 2-2 to go 3-2 up. The John McGinn saved on the line not on the line, but pretty much by Evans. So it was not all bad, but they just got caught in a very uncharacteristic way, like we said.
I mean, I think the interesting thing is that had Unai Emery at halftime said, and obviously it's the cliche of cliches, 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline, but sometimes it's really true. Unai Emery at halftime could have been like, listen, forget the high line. We're now going to sit, and we're going to let them continue to be frustrated. Then maybe the Garnacho disallowed goal wouldn't have happened.
And we know his
maybe
teams can do that. We've seen his teams do that.
Against Arsenal, for example, at home, they struggled a bit more.
But the problem is, and this is an Unai Emery literal quote, is that he has instilled this incredible high line catching teams offside, left, right, and center to the point where the players themselves instinctively do it. It's like he can't even coach them not to do it. And I think that was a major fault. Now, here's a factor, Gab, and Jules will agree with me here. And I'm not making excuses, but when you don't have Bouba Kamara in that midfield, which is the double pivot with Douglas Luiz, big holes are open. He's already
he's rolling his eyes. And Pau Torres at the back.
And Yuri Tillemans, who was starting before he got hurt. Yes, there's injuries everywhere. I'm just
Cash
telling you that Dendoncker, as good as he is not Bouba Kamara.
Yeah.
And that's how much we missed him in that game. But full credit to Erik ten Hag and United.
Hey, the Bouba Kamara's not there. Manchester United are at full fitness, coming off having just won the treble. Everybody's fit. That wasn't Johnny Evans I saw at the back. That wasn't Kobe Mino in midfield. That wasn't Hannibal coming on.
He only came on for 10 minutes or something.
No, that's fine. I feel like we need to praise United, praise those players a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think it's a kind of situation, and we're going to get into this more on the Gab and Juls podcast, but just my view of United right now is these players know Ten Hag isn't going anywhere for a while, right? Because this thing needs to be completed. It's in everybody's interest to pull together. And however faith or not faith they may have, this whole idea of players downing tools, that happens very, very rarely. And I think if United lose games, it's not because they're downing tools. It's because they're not good. And they were good on this occasion.